stand-up's journey to the Edinburgh Fringe, from beginning to end to beginning, starting at the end. 30th of August, 1 hour into the journey from the Edinburgh Fringe seems like 9 days. A regional youth theatre drunk on a discontinued liqueur once manufactured by one of their dads sings songs by Madonna forever. Staring out of the window, the scenery moves so slowly you can see the particles it's made of. You will never do the Edinburgh Fringe again. You are broken. 3rd of December, you have an idea for a fringe show. This one will definitely be a sellout and get loads of critical kudos. It will be about all the objects you bought at Fate's when you were a child. It will be touching, nostalgic, a view of childhood and the pain of leaving it. 31st of January, you decide to call it My Fate in Your Hands, after previously considering After Fate Mint, Fate O'Clock and Fate Accompli. 23rd of February, you go back to your parents' house and dig through all the things you bought at those fates. There's a Star Trek photo novel, a toy garage, a Greek fisherman's hat and a t-shirt with a picture of Corfe Castle on it. You start fashioning your show. You'll imagine yourself as a Greek fisherman with a satire on their economy involving a talking cod. I mean, sure, it's a bit dated, but it will have edge. 29th of April. The Fringe brochure deadline is upon you. You wonder what to say. You say you are award-winning and star of BBC Three's Embarrassing Bodies, even though most of the bit about you having quite a large elbow was cut out in the final edit. In fact, when you think about it, you're not even sure you were ever in it at all. But that doesn't matter. This is the Fringe brochure. 5th of May. Wonder if you should have done a show about what it's like having quite a large elbow. That seems like an angle. 1st of June. The Fate idea is a disaster and you decide that you'll cobble a load of old stand-up together and just start the show saying, I always think life is a bit like a village fete. I used to go to quite a few of them. But anyway, my love life has certainly been a tombola, etc. into one of your club sets. 30th of June. Go to Ramsgate for a preview at a club where the microphone activates the coloured tiles on the disco floor. Fortunately, a man in the front row is alone. You make everyone laugh by talking about how his jumper must be the reason he's alone. When the pace slackens, you return to his loneliness. The man is not seen in Ramsgate again. 5th of July. Spend £3,000 on a PR person. Her eyes are threatening and wide, so she must be worth it. She's got you on 3 counties radio and an interview with a new magazine called The Hot. Young journalist from The Hot says your PR promised you'd pay for his coffee. He has 3. And a muffin. 6th of July. You find out The Hot won't be coming out until the 17th of October. Your PR tells you that hindsight publicity is very powerful in Edinburgh this year. 25th of July. Come up with a brilliant ending for your show. A moving story about your dad crying at his allotment over some disappointing vegetables. You'll stop, look at the audience, then pull out a big cauliflower and say, this is the first vegetable I grew with my dad. It never won a competition, but it is a winner. 1st of August, you decide you'll be teetotal for the whole run and eat healthily. 2nd of August, realise you're shouting alone in a tunnel. The alcoholic ginger beer is stronger than you realised. 3rd of August. First night, 12 in, but they are the perfect 12. You riff about the empty chairs, doing voices and imagining who didn't come. Later on, a man called Mike comes up and says he thought that was the best chair bit he's seen. He has a mate in telly and he's going to tell him all about it. 5th of August. PR tells you press are in. Someone has stolen the cauliflower. You throw a hissy fit and catch your trousers on a nail. Later, you are shouting alone in a tunnel. You do not realise this. 8th of August, you blame poor sales on lack of posters. You've been around the venue counting all the other acts' posters and you see that you have at least 2 less than Richard Herring. 9th of August, Student Accommodation magazine gives you 3 stars. Spend a day carefully replicating the design of the stars. Manage to turn it into a 4-star review. Change the title from Student Accommodation magazine to The Guardian. 12th of August, you find yourself crying for no reason. 13th of August, an audience member after the show tells you that it wasn't nearly as bad as he'd been led to believe. You ask if he could tweet the sentiment so you can retweet it. 17th of August, you find yourself saying, but it did read like a 4-star review, for the 57th time that day. 18th of August, You realise you haven't eaten for 18 days and buy some Cocoa Pops. 22nd of August. PR is furious. Says she spent a week whining and dining the Guardian reviewer, but he has seen a flyer and says they never review shows twice. 25th of August. It's 3 a.m. and you spend the night trying to staple ham to all the other comedians' posters. 27th of August. You work out you've lost approximately £7,000. Later this figure will treble. You hate all other comedians apart from the ones that look lonelier than you. There is now a queue to get into the screaming and crying tunnel. 29th of August. Like every other comedian, you wander around saying that you've been reliably informed that you were only one off being on the BAE Systems Comedy Award shortlist, the most prestigious prize on the Fringe. Drunkenly return to your flat and somehow knock the radiator off the wall and bleed all over the living room. You will lose your deposit. 30th of August. The train will never reach London. It's going backwards in time. A sketch trio loudly mimic anything that has ever been on TV. They are singing medleys by ABBA. Never again. You bump into Tony Hadley from Spandau Ballet at King's Cross. That doesn't improve anything. 5th of October, you have an idea for a show, Sweet Spandau Ballet High, about how you once bumped into Tony Hadley.
This recording was brought to you by the Cosmic Shambles Network. Curiously interesting. Find out more at cosmicshambles.com.